Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about anime of the year. Listen, we just dropped a video where we did all the other categories. As you can see, we did quite a bit. It was a lot of fun. Crunchyroll, some of these nominations are just god-awful, I'm going to be brutally honest. We even just went back to and looked at some of the animes that dropped in 2024. We're like, wow, they missed some massive, massive names. Like Wisteria not getting nominated for Best Animation is absolutely crazy. A lot of the categories just had really bad nominations. I mean, like, it's absolutely insane. So many animes were left off. It's crazy, but now we have Anime of the Year, the most controversial, the, like, largest mess. So let's get into it. Let's piss people off. Let's have some extremely hot takes, and yeah, let's make some enemies. Let's burn some bridges. And we're not doing it on purpose. We're not doing it on purpose, but it's just going to happen. All right, it's going to happen. So would you like to start before I just absolutely just make people feral? Because I'm gonna say some hot, like, fucking awful shit. I'm gonna really upset people in this video. I can't help it. Like,
My first thought when I saw the nominations was like, I have watched all of these except for the Apothecary Diaries, and I
mhm,
did not think Delicious in Dungeon was nearly on that level.
mhm.
I know it was really popular, but to say it was like the undisputed best was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah,
Definitely some really, really good stuff. I'm definitely with you though. There was a lot of sus picks, but I love solo leveling, and I thought the first season of solo leveling was pretty good, but there's also 8.5 episodes of like build up and then the recap episode. For
mhm.
me, that doesn't stand out as like the best anime of the year. Season two is a much different story, but like I have a tough time, even through the voting, I had a tough time voting for anything kind of like solo leveling wise. So those two I would probably were like off the board kind of quick, but Apothecary Diaries, Frieren, Dandadan, and Kaiju, just awesome. Really, really good stuff. And like all of these were really successful. So like when you see, and like we've kind of talked about some of the other ones, like there's so many good animes, it's really hard to pick like just the best one.
Yeah. It's tough. Like, it really, really is. It's a mess. It's a mess to kind of decide which one is the best. You know what I mean? In my opinion, let's just start right out of the gate. Yeah, I haven't seen Delicious in Dungeon. Solo Leveling should not be here at all. Not even close. It's
I
bullshit. And what
agree.
fucking pisses me off, it's gonna win. It's gonna win, and it absolutely should not. Season one was mediocre. It was average. It was solid. That's all it was. Because you literally brought in this anime with all this hype, and like, it really was just, again, just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, the highlight of it was the Arise scene. Like, you know what I
The
mean?
very, very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have a season, like a first season that has all this hype, all this material, and you have a recap in your first season. And the crazy thing is, it's gonna win because people can't differentiate that this is about season one and season one alone. It just dropped season two, which is why I think this entire timing of when this dropped, like Anime Awards, is bullshit. But people are like, oh yeah, they're gonna tie in season two with season one and be like, Solo Leveling was the greatest thing ever. It absolutely should win, and that's why it's going to win. But that is the exact reason why I think it shouldn't, because season two, that that right there is an anime of the year caliber of a season. Do you think season one and season two are similar? Do you think that they were even relatively
Oh.
close? Season two is actually, and I'll even say this. I even say this. I think anime of the year here. There's no slam dunk. There's no anime that was like, yo, that deserves all of the praise. It is the undisputed. I feel like there's an argument for a lot of animes, right? Season two is something where, like, that's a front runner. That's something that broke multiple records. It overexceeded the hype. The soundtrack was phenomenal. The opening and the ending have them on repeat nonstop. The animation was incredible. The fights were incredible. The characters were incredible. There was nothing that wasn't incredible about Solo Living Season 2. Compare that to Season 1. Yeah, it's not even close, and that's why I think season one shouldn't even be here. I feel like Blue Lock should be over this. I feel like Wistoria should even be over this, and that's a hot take. I feel like Clash of the Elite should be over this. There's so many that think that should be above season one, right? So I think the fact that it's here, it's like, nah. Like, I'm sorry, but like, nah. You have Frieren. I feel like Frieren was really good. It had the double season, and sometimes that kind of makes it a little bit tougher, you know, because it's like you had more content to deal with, you know what I mean? And to enjoy. And I feel like Frieren really needed the second part of its season because it is a slower burn, and that's what I really like about Frieren is it takes time. You know what I mean? It marinates, it builds, right? And I feel like Frieren was solid. I feel like it was really, really good. I'm really excited for season two, or I guess technically like season three. I thought it was really, really good, but it didn't blow me away. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was like, yo, I gotta tell everybody about this. Like, this is something I gotta recommend to absolutely everybody. Most people dropped it. I feel like it lost a lot of its hype, and then it came back because the second part of this first season is what really started to get action packed. Even though like the whole fight scene with the dragon in the very beginning was absolutely incredible, I feel like it had a second wave of shorts and YouTube videos and Instagram reels that dropped that people were like, oh wait, what's Farron up to? Like, let's get back into this. You know what I mean? I feel like an anime like that, anime of the year, like no. Dan to Dan's very, very good, but also has the most hate out of any anime from last year. Like, hands down, even with PNG Lock. Something I saw, I tried to, like, make sure I didn't spoil the nominations because I wanted to be surprised. The second the nominations dropped, I saw a flood of hate on TikTok. And that's the thing about having TikTok now is I'm seeing all of the beef from all these communities. People are very upset that Dan to Dan kind of got nominated because of like, the aggressive amount of, like, inappropriateness. You know, see, episode 1 was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to recommend
yeah.
Dan to Dan episode 1 because of that. Like, I don't want to recommend Dan to Dan anybody because of episode 1. You know what I mean? I don't have to explain that to somebody or kind of like, oh wait, but like, I promise it gets better. Like, episode 1 was a tough pill to swallow. It really was. And I remember us talking on the podcast about it where we were considering dropping it. We're like, all right, let's just give it like 1 or 2 more episodes, and it ended up being a lot better. But like, a lot of people are like very upset because of that. It also had tons of beef throughout the season on Twitter. So as good as it was, I think it also had a decent amount of hate with it, and that's like the one blemish that Dan to Dan has. Other than that, I feel like Dan to Dan had awesome animation, awesome characters, awesome story. The fight scenes are pretty solid, and it's incredibly marketable. I mean, the music was incredible. The apparel is insane. I'm not gonna lie, I have like 2 Dan to Dan shirts in the cart, you know, and I'm just like, don't do it. But you're gonna end up seeing it in a couple videos. Like, I can't help myself. Right? It's really solid that way. Apothecary Diaries is the same way. I feel like Apothecary Diaries, the only thing it is missing for anime of the year is the hype, which it absolutely deserves and should get. I feel like the characters are like beyond incredible. Mao Mao is the best MC. I voted for best MC. Spoiler alert. But it has incredible animation. The story is so fucking good. I just feel like because it's not shonen, it doesn't have the people that should be watching it. I feel like the problem is that everyone watches shonen and like very, very rarely will venture out. And I feel like because of that, it's not getting the love it deserves. It's not getting the attention or the hype it deserves. And I don't think it has the hype for anime of the year. Which then brings me to my pick. That's Kaiju 8. Right, Kaiju 8 delivered on absolutely everything. The story is incredible. The MC Kafka, incredible. The supporting cast, incredible. Had so many amazing characters that were so well designed. The fight scenes were incredible. The story was incredible. It was also very funny. Come to think of it, some of the comedy animes that were nominated, fucking Spy Family, I feel like Kaiju 8 should have gotten a nomination over that. But besides the point, it was mad funny. It was so good. The story was absolutely incredible. The opening and the ending were just perfect, and again, it's incredibly marketable. Like, the apparel for like Kaiju 8 is just there. It's so nice. It's so easy to love this anime. I voted for it, again, spoiler, on a lot of categories. I think Kaiju 8 is my lock for anime of the year. But I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say one thing that is gonna just, if anyone's still not pissed off, it'll turn them. It'll turn them into a blind, blood-boiling rage. Kaiju 8 is my pick. I feel like a lot of other these animes, you can make an argument. Like I said, there's no slam dunk. But if they change the format and like it's not a multiple choice, you have to write in your answer for anime of the year, Arcane. Arcane Season 2. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. If you don't know what Arcane is, like, the problem is that people fight over if it's an anime or not. That is the whole question about it. It's a Netflix exclusive where it was based off of a video game, but so was Cyberpunk, and that won anime of the year. I'm just saying. The thing is, if you watch Arcane, it is quite literally leagues above everybody else. First of all, they are 40-minute episodes, so that is something that is slightly different, but they put literally hundreds of millions of dollars into this anime, and you can tell. You can tell. Like, the music, there's no better music than Arcane music. I literally is incomprehensible. You cannot compare it to anything else. The music is phenomenal. The animation is so goddamn good. The characters are beyond perfect. It is the only thing that I'd say is, like, I'm not going to die on the hill if it's an anime or not. I could care less. Some people think it is, some people think it isn't. I can see both arguments. I will die on the hill, though, that it is a slam dunk for just absolute greatness. It is one of the best things that has been dropped. So if you count it as an anime, it is the only thing I could say is an absolute, through and through, the best anime of the year. No doubt in my mind. Absolute perfect cinematic masterpiece. But if you don't count as an anime, well then yeah, it's Kaiju 8. That's my vote. That's my little spiel on this whole goddamn thing.
You make a really good point. I had forgotten about that. To see Arcane not even get any acknowledgement, I think is kind of one, it's a disappointment, but two, it really basically says for Crunchyroll, like it's a lot only of the Western stuff, which Cyberpunk appears to be like an outlier. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, even for like the soundtrack, that had the best soundtrack by far. It was also
yeah, it's insane.
Like I tried not putting too much weight into some of like the things that you mentioned. Like Frieren had like 28 episodes. That's way more than any, like the Solo Leveling, Kaiju, and Dandadan. Those seasons were much shorter. And then like you have some episodes are 40 minutes or an hour. Like I guess you can get across more content or spend more time covering things. But I tried not to like go that deep with it. I liked a lot of the moments in Dandadan. I thought some of like Acrobatic Silky, those episodes were really hard hitting. And like every anime in this list had moments like that. But I feel like probably the one that had the best overall season was Kaiju. Although Frieren was like a stellar story, there's a lot of good character development, but they all have that, right?
Yeah.
They're all going to have elements that you like. And, I have like a decent amount of critique for all of these. I thought Dandadan ended at a weird point. I totally blocked goofy ass episode 1 out of my mind. And like it is like ecchi, so to speak, but like not necessarily like in a fan service way, like more like zany, awkward situations, which if you watch Dandadan, you know exactly what you're talking about. But like I feel like Kaiju with the great music, really, really good animation, the characters were awesome. I mean, you just couldn't say enough about it. I really didn't have any issues other than everything else was getting like extra seasons and stuff, and just had to wait till July for Kaiju to come back. I thought it was awesome. It was a really good premiere. Not that anything else wasn't. I'm with you. I didn't think Solo Leveling season 1 is really all that good. You probably could have put other animes up there, but yeah, the recency bias and then the hype of like just your average shonen or like a combat anime is always going to get more hype than something like a romance or the Apothecary Diaries. So that does kind of suck, but that's just the way it is. It's a tough vote, but I would probably vote Kaiju number 8 as well. Seeing like how popular it got in literally just a year with like 12 episodes shows you like everybody else kind of felt the same about it. And I probably don't have as many critiques about that as anything else. Kaiju definitely is going to get my vote.
Yeah, it's one of the things, like I said, you can make an argument for any of these animes. Like, you really can. They are all, like, really, really good. I feel like it's such a close contest with all of these. I recommend all these animes, to be honest. I haven't seen Delicious in Dungeon, but Solo Leveling Season 2 is fucking phenomenal. It is so goddamn good. It makes up for Season 1 and then some. Dandadan's been awesome. Kaiju 8's awesome. Apothecary Diaries is so, so good. You gotta really try that out. And same with Frieren. So, I think that is it. I mean, this is, quite the awards this year, you know what I mean? But I'm really excited for next year, and we gotta just keep like track of it all, because like I said, like they missed so much. Like Crunchyroll really dropped the ball with a lot of nominations, with a lot of animes getting absolutely fucked when it came to that stuff. Like a lot of animes that deserved to be here weren't here, and that makes me nervous for 2025's Anime of the Awards. Because when you look at the caliber of 2025 compared to 2024, like, it is night and day. I mean, just the movie category, I mean, we're getting a Demon Slayer movie, a Chainsaw Man movie, and probably a couple other movies. By the way, the Nagi movie didn't get a nod. Was that 2025 or was that 2024? I think that was 2024.
2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, that didn't even get voted for, like, best movie or anything, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be absolutely insane. There's gonna be so many more animes to choose from in 2025, though. So again, whoever does this, stop trying to piss people off, as we just pissed a bunch of people off. And good luck. You need all the fucking luck you can get. But that is it. Let us know down in the comments below, guys. Which one of these did you vote for? Which one has your vote for Anime of the Year? But also, do you think there's an anime that wasn't here that should get Anime of the Year? Because again, I can see people saying Wistoria. I can see people saying Clash of the Elite. That was a damn good season. I can see people saying Blue Lock. U20 games did pop off. Like, the beginning of the season was kind of like, eh. But, like, the U20 game, like, had us on the edge of our seat, absolutely losing it. So there's a lot to look at. But anyways, let us know down in the comments below. That is it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And, peace.